Alright, what's up guys? I'm Micah from Coaster Frenzy, and today I'm going to be reviewing Dominator at King's Dominion. This is their B&M floorless, and fun fact, it is also the world's longest floorless coaster. That being said, let's get into this review. So starting off, we're going to talk about inversions. This coaster has some really good inversions. They're extremely intense and very well rounded. The first inversion you're going to head into is the loop. This is one of the largest loops on the East Coast, and it is a fantastic one too. You're going to get some great hang time no matter what row you're in. Next up, you're going to go straight into a Cobra roll, which is actually really enjoyable, and it whips you straight through it, and it's actually not too bad or too rough. So it's a decent Cobra roll. Now, next up, you're going to head straight into two corkscrews that are going to be very intense. Some people say that they're rattly. I personally don't think so. I think they're fine, but they are very intense, so you might want to look out for that if you're not into very intense rides. And if you're in the back row, they just whip you straight through them, and personally, I think it's awesome. So for the inversions category for Dominator, I'm going to be giving it a score of 8 out of 10. These are some great inversions, and I really enjoyed them. They're intense, they're enjoyable, and they're very re-rideable. Next up, let's talk about smoothness. This is a very smooth ride. A lot of people say it's kind of rough or bumpy or rattly. I don't even know what they're talking about. This is easily probably the smoothest ride at King's Dominion. I found it buttery smooth. I mean, there is a little rattle in the second half, but it's so not noticeable. You barely even noticed it, and it's not there. I don't understand what people are talking about when they say this coaster has a bad rattle. It doesn't, but hey, everyone has their own opinion. So for me, this is a really smooth ride. I found the whole ride to be smooth. I didn't notice a rattle really at all, and I love the smoothness on this coaster. If you're in the back row, that's where you'll probably feel a slight rattle, but it's not terrible. So for the final score, I'm going to be giving smoothness a 9 out of 10. It's a really smooth ride. Is it the smoothest in the world? No, not even close. But it's really, really smooth when it comes to this category. Alright, next up we're going to be talking about theming and looks. This coaster is a pretty good looking ride. I like how it switches orange and yellow throughout the color scheme. The blue supports do look pretty good with it, and the trains look nice as well. Is it my favorite color scheme? No, I'm not a huge fan of yellow coasters or even orange ones, but for some reason on Dominator it looks nice when they go together and switch throughout the ride. Now, when it comes to theming, this coaster is called Dominator, so you'd think there'd be like some superhero theming or something like that. But no, there's no theming whatsoever. You're not going to notice theming anywhere during the ride at all. So for theming and looks category, I'm giving Dominator a 5 out of 10. It looks good, there's just no theming, but however, to make up for that, I guess it has a pretty cool name. Now it's time for the final category, which is the overall score. Dominator is one of my favorite B&Ms I've ridden. In fact, it makes my top 10, and it is one of the two B&M floorlesses I've ridden, the other one being Kraken. And I do prefer this over Kraken because it's more intense, and the inversions are just overall better. However, Kraken does have the slight edge when it comes to certain categories, such as looks, theming, or even smoothness-wise, I guess. I didn't really notice a difference, but some people think that others are smoother than each other. But getting back to the category, Dominator is overall a very well-rounded ride, and I love this coaster to death. It is, in fact, my third favorite ride at King's Dominion behind Volcano and NI 305. So, Dominator is a very smooth, intense, and very well-rounded coaster, which is why I'm going to be giving Dominator a final score of 8 out of 10. This is a fantastic ride. If you can only get on a few coasters at King's Dominion, try to make sure you get on Dominator as one of them. And until next time, coaster fans, I will see you later.